Oh, there
Hey,
you go. How's it going, Gordon?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good.
Good stuff. Good. And you had a good weekend? I think we are live already. Wow. It shows we're live. That's crazy. I didn't even hit go live. We're live.
Well, we're live, so let's rock and roll.
Awesome. Let me make hold on one second. Looks like sounds like you're sounds like you're hearing noise in two different places. So hold on one second.
Yeah, no problem.
Can you hear the echo, son?
That's much better.
How about now?
That's way better, yes.
Is it on your computer? Are you live on your computer as well, Si?
I am on my computer, absolutely.
Maybe that's what I'm hearing.
Um, no, I mean, like when I talk, does it echo on your side or because you're coming out loud and clear?
For some reason, I'm hearing us like there's a double.
Yeah, not on my end. I hear it perfectly fine. I don't have anything else going on other than this stream right now.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly loud and clear.
For some reason, I'm hearing an echo. Let's okay. Let's start. Anyway, so hey folks, welcome everyone. Welcome so much to our land test. Our special guest today is Mr. Sai Lee. Now, for those of you who may or may not know Sai, let me give you a quick introduction. He is a family man. He
Oh,
loves to
hey,
help
Gordon,
people.
I gotta let you know your sound's like cutting in and out, eh?
Okay. Let me go on and come back. Okay.
Yep, no problem.
Hey Sai, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. How's that
It
now?
was it was actually a problem on my end. I apologize. I had you live on YouTube at the same time. So
Oh,
thank you to technology. So while I was speaking, our interview was actually playing at the same time on my computer. So
gotcha.
once again, everyone, thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining us. One of my mentors once said, there's no check in high tech, which is kind of funny and ironic because, today we're using technology. I have my special guest here. I'm at home, at my home office. He's in his home office in a different city. And some of you will be on here watching or on the replay later, right? And we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on social media platforms. So technology is making our lives more effective. And at the same time, sometimes we forget about that human element and that human touch. How many of you agree with that? If you agree with that, type the word human in our comment, because in the world of AI, it's great, but that nothing replaces that human touch. And this is one of the reasons why I believe my guest today has had tremendous success in the real estate industry, and his clients are having amazing success, is because of that personal relationship, that business relationship he has with them, where he's actually available to them in person, whether it's live, on digital form, or in person, to actually hold their hands, help them succeed as a real estate investor. So I can't think of a better person to join me today than Mr. Sai Lee from Flip Real Estate for Profits. Welcome, Sai.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gordon, for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome. I know you're extremely busy. And Sai, why don't we jump right into it for some of our friends who are watching? Prior to you embarking in a successful career in the real estate industry as a mortgage broker, as a real estate investor, and now a successful real estate investor coach, if I could use that word, could you tell us a little bit about your professional background before you started this journey here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually came from an IT background. right? I was just that kid that I went to school, went to university, got a nice degree, and when I came out, I just thought, hey, this is it. Go find a job and just keep climbing that corporate ladder. So, anyways, I climbed the corporate ladder pretty much as high as I possibly could as an IT consultant. The cool thing about being an IT consultant is that you get paid really nice. Okay, like it's just crazy what you can charge as a consultant. But the thing is, I was making great money. I just, I freaking hated the commute. That was the thing that was driving me nuts because I'm from Kitchener. All of my clients are in Toronto, which required me to commute. So I was spending 2 hours as a commute there, 2 hours back. I did the math. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting 20 hours of my life making somebody else rich. And so I'm looking at my bank account, and I just decided one day, how do I make this money grow? And so I started looking at different ways of investing money and how, and having money work for you. I was like, it's just like, what the heck's going on? What does this really mean? I kept falling upon real estate all the time. Like real estate was one of those things that kept coming up over and over again. And so I decided, why not? Why don't I just try this real estate thing? Everybody talks about it. A lot of multimillionaires are made through real estate. It just makes sense, right? Like the ratios are in my favor. And so that's where I'm coming from. I was just an IT guy, basically sitting at my desk, writing emails, and never picked up the phone, never talked to a single person in my life. And then once I got into the real estate business, I had realized very quickly that, yes, it is a people business. And yes, you got to go and talk to people. You got to go network with people. You got to like people. So I did a completely 180, Gordon, but it was the best thing I ever did. Oh, I think you're a mute or something, Gordon.
Okay, so here
There
we
you go.
go. So that's why you're the expert. That's why you're the expert, Sai. I'm still trying to figure out how to mute and unmute here. For some of my friends who are watching, if you would like to schedule a 30-minute, 15 or 30-minute session with Sai, use the link that I have here, fliprealestateforprofits.com/LFS. Now, I can tell you right now that Sai is extremely busy, and he usually has a limited number of calls that he can take. Did I say that right, Sai? And
100%.
normally, if you want Sai, well, let me back up for a minute. If Sai could show you how you heard a story about walking away from his 9 to 5, right, from a really nice IT career to now buying and flipping real estate. If you can flip real estate using other people's money, would you be interested? Right? And if you could schedule a session with Sai, would you be interested? I know that Sai, there are folks that would pay you thousands of dollars, and they do. They pay you maybe even $1,000 an hour just to hop on the phone with you. I mean, who wouldn't? Like recently, you told me somebody bought a house using a $10 bill. That was all they had. That was the deposit. When I told that to a friend of mine just the other day, who is a real estate lawyer, that I was going to be interviewing Sai, and he has a client that he taught how to buy real estate using other money, and the deposit was $10. You know what this real estate lawyer said to me?
What do you say?
Is it even legal?
That's
Like,
hilarious.
this was a
Of
real
course.
estate lawyer.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that story, Gordon, is that the seller actually went to go talk to the lawyer, and the lawyer said, "No, no, you got to up the deposit, man, 5,000, 10,000 at least." And because we built such amazing rapport with the seller actually talked to the lawyer into basically changing his mind, the lawyer's mind, and saying, "Don't worry about it. $10 is good enough." So that's the funny thing. And like, listen, I'm not surprised that that was the answer the lawyer said, because straight up, I went through all of that when I started as well. Every single realtor, every single lawyer, every so-called real estate professional told me what I'm doing is crazy and that it will never work in this market. But that actually made me wanted to do it even more. So
Wow.
yeah,
So,
I
so
mean,
let me
listen
ask,
about this.
let me
Nobody
ask you
has
this
ever
then.
showed me the
Mhm.
law that says you need to put 5, 10, $20,000 in contract. Okay, please go show me the law that that's required, because
Yeah,
it's consideration. I think the law is $2.
yeah, yeah. I was just looking at a cottage and it was listed at 3.5 mil. And beside it, there's a calculator, and it had estimated monthly payments. Something around like just under $16,000 a month. It was like 15,000 something, right? And then plus taxes, utilities. So I was curious, and I thought, okay, how do they figure it'd be around 15, 16,000 a month mortgage payments? So I clicked on it, and sure enough, like what you just said, they had an example of someone putting 20% down.
Right.
So the down payment was over $600,000. So you're assuming somebody would buy this $3.5 million cottage over $600,000 down, and then they would finance the rest.
Yep.
And that's traditional how most people think, right? You put minimum 20% down to buy a property. Dispel that myth for me of how can you buy real estate for less than 20% down?
Well, so let's make it really clear. The $10 that we put down is the deposit, right? It's to secure the contract. So the idea is that, yeah, absolutely. You're never going to get around the banks. Ultimately, if you do end up buying the property, closing on it, renovating it, doing all the stuff that you want to do to the house, and then sell it for profits, absolutely. You will have to go and get some sort of financing on it, whether that be a prime lender, which is going to require that 20% down. You can go with subprime lender, like a B lender. You can go with a MIC. You can go with a private where anything goes. There's really no rules. Yes, ultimately, when you close, you will need the down payment. Every single lender that you do business with as well has different guidelines for the down payment. They're going to look at the down payment differently. But here's the key thing. If you haven't caught on yet, it doesn't mean that we have to close and buy that property using a conventional means. It means that, listen, if you're really good as a real estate investor and you've raised capital, you've raised people, you build a buyer's list with people with money, why don't you just use their money to close instead of going through all the hassle and all the headaches of going through the banks and having to do the down payment verification and all that kind of stuff?
Wow. Now, I've heard that term before. People say other people's money, OPM, right? And I heard somebody say OPM is not, it's not the kind of stuff you smoke, right? It's other people's money.
That's right.
So some people who are watching say, you can't do that. Like the markets change. And maybe 10 years ago. So the projects you flip, I'm telling people you flipped over 29 properties. I hope that's true. Right?
Listen, just no money down deals. That doesn't include
Oh,
all
no
the
money,
other
right?
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are these deals like 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
Oh, recently, man. Like we're always putting deals together all the time. And so what I basically teach real estate investors is this. Look, in reality, if you want to learn about real estate, go ahead. Like go and learn from YouTube University for all I care. Like all this information. You want to look up
YouTube University. I like that.
Go look up Google University. It will tell you what OPM is. Okay. Here's the reality though. You can learn everything you want about real estate. That's fine. Cool. Nobody's ever going to do the work. I know that. And that's where the real value in coaching and stuff comes in, because I always say my goal as a coach is to find out why the heck are you not doing the work. Like I want to turn my people into serious entrepreneurs so that when they're done with me, they're going to be able to put together any real estate deal and make money, slice and dice it, make money any way possible in any market. Doesn't matter if it's a seller's market, doesn't matter if it's a buyer's market, doesn't matter if interest rates go up. Why don't you just keep it simple at first? Buy it low and sell it high and collect the spread. Keep it that simple for now as a brand new real estate investor, because based on that foundation alone, that's when you can build a lot more complexity into your business. Then you can start getting into some other creative stuff. You want to get into multifamily? Cool. You want to be a super landlord? Cool. But the foundation is all the same.
Wow. Same for, I like that. Buy low.
Doesn't matter what market.
Sell high, right? Buy low.
Keep it that simple. Yeah.
I
Willing buyer, willing seller. That's it.
I try to buy high and sell low. It doesn't work.
Yes. Willing seller, willing buyer. You make money.
Yeah. Now, for some of the folks who are watching, again, this is my good friend Sai Lee out of Kitchener, and he is a successful mortgage broker. He is a successful real estate investor, and he's successfully teaching his clients, his students, his members actually how to flip real estate right now using other people's money. And Saturday, September 23rd, Sai is going to be coming back for our second annual Business Expo. Last year, he was one of the coaches and speakers at our event. This year, he's going to be there again. So if you guys are thinking, look, I want to learn more about what Sai is actually doing, and can I do the same? And the answer is yes. Sai's been saying yes. You have two opportunities. One, how would you like to come and meet Sai live and in person? Come and meet him live and in person. There's nothing better than shaking someone's hand, looking them in the eyes, right? You guys agree with that? So September, it's an entire day event. The link I have that's crossing on the bottom of this screen right now, go there and get a free complimentary tickets while they're still available. It's an all-day event with networking, learning, training. It's going to be a fun day, okay? And then if you want to grab a VIP ticket, it's only $97. You can sit with all the VIPs, network with all the VIPs. There's lunch included as well. And again, you get to meet Sai in person. So that's the first way. The second way is, Sai, again, I know you're extremely busy, and you probably charge $1,000 an hour for somebody just to hop on the phone with you, right? To learn how to become a real estate millionaire. I mean, who wouldn't, right? And so if you want to schedule an appointment with Sai's being graciously enough to offer this to our Land for Success community, but there's limited spots. I think there's only maybe 5 spots, okay? So if you're serious about learning how to buy real estate at 80 cents on the dollar, I'm going to put you on the spot here, Sai, because you told me you could teach your clients. Right now, people have multiple offers. So you see Sai's above asking price, 100,000 above asking. 200,000 above asking, but you're teaching people the opposite. How do you do that, Sai?
So number one, stop looking on the MLS. Okay, find them off market. That's just the magic bullet there. Like, find them off market. Okay, find them off market. Like Warden was saying, we have one in contract right now, $150,000 under market value, $10 deposit, and we have like a 4-week condition. So when people tell me they got to put in, these big deposits, go firm, it's because guess what? You're buying on the MLS. That's your biggest problem.
Wow. So correct me if I'm wrong. $10 deposit. The property's $150. $150,000 under market. So this student that you have that tied up this property, do they plan to close on it, or do they plan to flip it already?
Depends. We're going to do what the realtors do best. Best bidder wins.
Yeah.
Whoever brings the most money gets the house.
That's
why change a system that already works? Because all you're going to get is you're going to get your emotional buyers that are always willing to pay more. So
interesting. Interesting. Now, is this house all run down? Is it a fixer-upper and you got to go and spend tons of money on it, or?
Not a fixer-upper or nothing, man. I mean, it needs minimal work. Somebody could literally walk in there and just finish this thing themselves and make a ton of equity. It's just a no-brainer deal. Now, Gordon, back to your point before as well. Like, yes, I do cap the number of clients that I take on each month, and there's a reason why I do that, guys. Because, for me, fulfillment, the client experience is everything. I don't want people coming through my coaching program thinking that there's some sort of number. No, I'm going to take them through some serious transformation. They don't get some other sales guy I hired. Okay. Mm-hmm. They get me. Like, when they need support, they need my help, they get me. I'm a busy guy. And this is why I cap how many clients I take on each month, because I'm always upgrading the program. Like, I seriously spend serious time on a weekly basis upgrading it, because for me, the only thing that matters is I want to have the highest success rate of any Canadian coaching program in all of Canada, period. That's my goal. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to win.
I love that. Sai, you mentioned a Canadian program, the content you have, the information, what you teach works here at home in Canada. I know you and I have had other conversations where even if you're in the United States, Sai can still help you. Obviously, things will be slightly different, right? Because the laws and taxation and things like that. But the strategies, Sai, you mentioned you have works for clients in the US as well. But you capping at the size, I love the fact that your students and your members have access to, because I have friends and clients in the past that have paid 10, 20, 30,000 or more for similar information and coaching. And then the person they bought the course or program from have already left the stage and have already flown home to Texas or wherever they are, and there's no access to them.
That's right. That's where the real value is, though, right? With coaching, like I said, sure, if you want free information, you know what? We live in the information stage right now. Everything on the internet is free. Where the real value is, it's all about the accountability. It's about the transformation. It's about me keeping you accountable and making sure that you're going to do the work. Because if you take action and do the work, there's no reason why you can't see the results. It's that simple.
Give me an example. I'm going to
There's
put
a reason why, Gordon. So I'll give you an example, okay? There's a reason why I've been successful at any business I've ever got myself into. Like, my gosh, I'm not trying to be cocky or nothing. Please don't think that. But I'm telling you, I could take anybody from 0 to 100,000 a year with my eyes closed. Okay. Wow. You know why? It's the same discipline. It's the same exact work ethics. It's the same core entrepreneur principles. Making six figures is the easy part. You know what I mean? And every single coaching program that I've been of, like, I eat my own crow. Okay. I don't just go and figure things out on my own. I actually pay people that are way smarter than me to teach me so I can keep upgrading my skills and me as a person every day. And I use the same formula all the time. Just do whatever the hell your coach tells you to do, right? Go and try it. You're going to fall on your face a couple times. You're probably going to fail. You're probably going to make mistakes. It's all good. You just got to report back, implement, report back, implement. Stop living so much in the information stage and start adopting the implementation stage, because without that piece, listen, nothing's going to happen.
I love that, right? Most people, they don't need another course. They don't need a program. They actually need a coach and a mentor that can keep them accountable. Now, Sai, you have shared with me a number of success stories from some part of a conversation. The one that I fell in love with, I don't know if you remember the one that you shared with me. You flipped. I hope it's okay to share this.
Absolutely.
You flipped a property, made I think $60,000. You said.
Yeah, so it was like $65,000. Yeah.
The guy who kept. I mean, that's like a year's wages.
Yeah, right? and I did it over in like one weekend.
One weekend. Wow. In one weekend, guys, raise your hands. Like, type weekend. If you want to book a session with Sai, I think you only have like maybe 4 or 5 sessions that are available. If you want to schedule a session with Sai, you want to type the word weekend. If you want to learn how Sai made 60 grand in one weekend, that's crazy. And that property, didn't you say the person who bought it from you bought a new, made 600? What did he make?
So basically, I flipped this property over to an investor I know, and he paid me like $65,000 for the flip. And then, he's a buy and hold guy, so it's cool. He bought it. I held it for probably less than 5 years. Easily, I think it was, I want to say 4 years. Yeah, he held it for at least 4 years. And because he sold it at the height of the market, this is like before interest rates were going crazy and stuff. He ended up flipping it again at the height of the market, making $600,000 more than what he actually bought it from me for. And, he called me one day and he's like, yo, Sai, man, listen, life is too short. I'm just letting you know that I am walking into the Lamborghini dealership this week.
Wow.
So I ends up buying a brand new Lamborghini Hurricane, beautiful green, because he just didn't know what to do with the money. He's like, what do I do with $600,000? It's like, yo, just buy a Lamborghini. 4 years later, that's why I love real estate. All the zeros, they multiply. Wow. That's how I retired from my 9 to 5. I mean, come on, if I was going to buy 10 rentals and make $100 a month, it wasn't going to change my life, right? So I'm like, why don't I just go flip the most expensive thing that anybody's ever going to own? Build a huge bankroll, lend that bankroll out. Now you actually have breathing room to figure out what the heck you want to do with your life.
Wow. I love that. I think Dolly Parton's song, I can't sing. If I start singing, everyone's going to leave, right? But, her song, like working 9 to 5. I mean, how many people would like to quit their 9 to 5 and learn from Sai how he walked away from a successful career in IT and quit his 9 to 5? But the two examples you just gave, 65, you made $65,000 in one flip on one weekend.
That's
Guys,
right.
book, I don't know about you, but I would take advantage of one of those 5 sessions and book an appointment, schedule an appointment with Sai. Okay. I would like to learn how you used other people's money and flipped and made 65 grand. But more importantly, the guy who 4 years, Sai, that's crazy. That's like highway robbery. Like, how can anybody make 600 grand in 4 years and go buy a green Ferrari and it's legal? That's crazy.
Lamborghini, yeah.
Lamborghini, not a Ferrari, Lamborghini. Wow.
Brand spanking new. And it's just because, guess what? It's real estate. Let the real estate do the work for you. That's
Yeah.
simple. Let somebody else pay down your mortgage. Let the market do its work, and all of a sudden you own a Lamborghini. So
That's amazing. So I thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We have our event on Saturday, September 23rd here in Toronto at the Markham Marriott Courtyard, and you're going to be there. So I know you
absolutely.
have some friends in the GTA and Toronto area. What would you say to them, and why should they grab a VIP ticket and come and meet yourself and Dr. Haley Patry and Rasa Sees and some of the other amazing business owners and entrepreneurs that are going to be there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's listen, if you're a serious entrepreneur, if this is being an entrepreneur is what you decided to do with your life, I don't care if it's real estate. It could be anything. Why aren't you going to networking events?
Mm,
That's where a lot of the magic happens. You never ever know who you're going to meet at these events. They could, like that person can make a significant impact on your life. And those are the opportunities that you're really missing out by not going out, being belly to belly with people, networking with people. Like, I think that's where the real true value is, is meeting people. You have to be, just like Gordon said earlier, there's always still got to be a human touch to everything. um like humans we're emotional creatures, right? We need to feel like we are part of something. We always feel like we need to want to connect with people. Like, that's what keeps us going. And I don't know about you, I'm sure you know this as well, Gordon. Being an entrepreneur, it's a total mindset game. Like I mean, it can be very lonely sometimes, as weird as that is to say. So why aren't you going out to these networking events, connect with people, meet some new friends? You just never know who you're going to meet.
yeah, yeah, that's so true. So I was listening to Lisa Nichols talk about um, relationships, and she is an extremely successful coach, and she teaches individuals how to make 6 7 figure incomes by speaking. Right? In fact, we have a youth speaker contest at September 23rd, which is kind of cool. But she talked about, you know, sometimes people feel alone, right? We don't think about that sometimes. People feel alone. They feel like I don't have the support. Uh, this is a great opportunity. Like you said, come out. There's going to be 100 to 200 people there.
Yeah, of
There's
like-minded individuals.
Yeah, there's an individual who's going to be there who, Sai, she is a real estate lawyer. She's in her mid 30s, and her father has a real estate company that has 600 real estate agents. How many people would like to meet her and sell to real estate agents? We got an individual that's going to be there um, who drove an Amazon truck. And today he's cut a deal with Amazon and he's done about 20, $30 million worth of business. How would you like to meet somebody like that? Does that make sense? Like, he actually invested in a young man who had a company, a startup idea with an app. And that app today called Knowledge Hook. If you guys have kids in school, Knowledge Hook was just valued at around $1 billion. Can you imagine? So you mentioned, like, you just never know who you're going to meet. So if someone's looking for capital for a startup, how would you like to run into somebody like Kula at the event? You just never know who you're going to meet. Look, once again, thank you so much for being here, Sai.
No
If
problem.
someone wanted to book again a session with you, thank you so much for your generosity of doing that, because I know you normally charge thousands. You just shared the story of a guy who in 4 years made 600 grand. I mean, guys, listen, Tony Robbins' success leaves clues. Would you want a book a session with Sai and say, how did that guy do it? And is there a possibility I can do it? So can you share what are the benefits if someone actually did schedule a session with you or come and meet you in person?
So number one thing, if you sign up at that link, if you schedule a call with me, you have to use that specific link, because I've offered to Land It for Success members and anybody who shows up, anybody watching this, if you go through the Land It for Success page, you do get a special discount.
Mm.
Okay. And I'm only offering that if you go through this link and do it. I don't call people and chase them for calls and we're playing phone tag. You have to book through this link in order for me to know that, you know what, you came through there, and I will give you an exclusive discount. And I'm going to be serious with you guys. As soon as the event's over, there's no more discount, period. That's it. I've had people come to me 6-8 months ago that said, Sai, I should have paid that price 6-8 months ago. I said, well, too bad. This is the new price. Like,
Yes,
it is what
yes.
it is. Winners get the early bird. Get the, the early bird gets the worm. The winners, they see something great, they jump on it, they do it. Anybody else pays more later. Hey, it's all good. I mean, that's what happens when you snooze. You snooze, you lose.
Yeah, yeah. And I've seen when you started, Sai, and as you grew and grew and grew, and your price has increased several times. And what's really surprising, it shouldn't be surprising, is it seems like every time you raise your price, the lineup of people wanting to get in gets bigger. It's
Yep.
incredible. That's just a testament of the value and the results from folks that are actually working with you. So if you guys get a chance to work with Sai, my recommendation is if he's anywhere near you, right? Like I know you were in Ottawa speaking as an example. If he's anywhere near you, like don't walk to that event. Like you should run to that event and and uh, and 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 have a conversation with Sai. Sai, you already know I like to also end with a couple of questions so our
Sure.
friends can get to know who you are a little bit. I'm going to see if some of your questions, some of your answers have changed. Okay. So, what is your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. Why blue? I would have thought green for money.
You know what? I'm a very simple guy. Like, I wear black, white, and blue is the only color I actually wear. So I've just decided to stick with blue my whole life.
Okay. And I'm surprised you don't have blue pajamas yet, because you keep on telling me that you're a guy who makes money flipping real estate still in your pajamas, right?
You know what, Gordon? I ain't gonna lie. I'm wearing literally flannel pajama pants right now. Okay. This is how I buy real estate: in a baseball cap, a t-shirt, and pajama bottoms. So
Wow. I love that. Anybody else want to buy real estate in pajamas, t-shirt, and baseball cap? That is so cool. So if you had a favorite, if your kids took you, if you went out for ice cream with your kids right now, and I love how you're spending time with your family. It's amazing. What what ice cream would you buy? Like what's your favorite ice cream?
oh, it's for the family, even for myself, it's vanilla all the way.
Vanilla, just plain vanilla.
It's plain vanilla. I mean, my 4-year-old, he loves the sprinkles. He loves, putting all the extra works on, but because he's a 4-year-old, right? What can you expect?
Yeah, there you go. Well, I tried caramel coconut crunch for the very first time.
That's interesting.
Good. That was an interesting flavor. It was good. All right. So last question is, Sai, if you could do anything right now, just one thing for Sai, not for somebody else, because I know you're always like, how can I help somebody else? How you help your mortgage clients, you help realtors, you help your real estate investors. You're helping us here at Landed for Success. You're always thinking about how can you help other people. But I want you to, the question is, if you could do one thing for wave a magic wand and do anything you could for Sai right now, what would you do?
It's interesting that you asked me that question, Gordon, because I actually put a lot of thought into it the last time you asked me that question, because nobody's ever asked me that before. And if I were to change my answer, it would be this. And I really, really thought long and hard about it. It was deep, man. So let me be a little bit vulnerable with you for a second here. If I can wave a magic wand, Gordon, all I would ever ask for right now is to freeze time. And the reason why I say that is because I look at my life and I'm extremely grateful for just what I have in the present day today. I mean, come on, I have an awesome marriage, love my wife, best supporting partner ever. Has never even questioned anything I've ever done as an entrepreneur. Best support system ever. Um, my kids are 8 years old, one's 4 years old. They think I'm probably Superman and I'm the coolest guy in the world. And I have my health, man. I have my health. I have everybody in my family's alive. Gordon, if I could do anything in the world, if I could wave a magic wand, all I would ask is just live in this present time forever, man.
Wow.
I would trade it all just to have this moment. That's it, man. Like there's nothing else in the world I would ever want more than that.
I love that. Freeze time. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be incredible? And life is too short, right? I've just spent the summer with my kids, my 5 grandchildren, and oldest is 3. And I'm seeing, when my kids were younger, they would say, "Hey, your kids they're going to grow up real fast." People
I
say that,
know. It's
right?
sad.
They're going to grow up so quickly. And you're thinking, what are you talking
Uh,
about? They're 3 years old. They're 8 years old. And now I see my grandchildren the same age when my kids used to be that age. And you want to not only freeze time, right? Sometimes think if I could just turn the clock back.
I know.
Yeah. And, well, I wasn't thinking of this question, but financial freedom is so important, isn't it?
Absolutely, man.
Right? You and I talked about Sai
100%.
Lee financially free at one time. Like you want to help people become financially free. And even if we could freeze time, talk to me like in 60 or 90 seconds. Isn't it sad that there are some people, the people who have time have no money, and the people who have money have no time? So how do you balance that with making money, a family, and having time to be able to spend with them?
Sure. So basically, I look at being an entrepreneur in the most simplest form. And it comes down to this. Look, I don't believe in working hard and, trying to be an entrepreneur through brute force.
Hmm.
I'm a very simple guy. Why don't you actually take a deep dive and look at what is your hourly rate?
Mm.
Okay? And the only way you're ever going to get a higher hourly rate is to learn a high paying a high paying skill, or learn how to scale a business and delegate. Every
Mm.
single time you know how to build a business and know how to delegate it and get rid of all the admin stuff. Stop doing the $20 stuff, Like your
Mm.
job as a CEO and entrepreneur is to do the $500 to $1,000 an hour stuff. And so when you can figure that out, then your whole life will change. All of a sudden you will start realizing that you actually have a lot more time than you thought, right? Because you were just way too busy doing all the $20 stuff, $20 an hour stuff. And so that's how I balance it, Gordon. Like, man, I run 2 full-time businesses. I run a successful mortgage business that I literally, work 2, 3 hours a day in. And it pays me probably more than most people make in like 5 years. But it's only because I'm always about simplicity and optimize the crap out of your business. If you can keep your business simple, optimize it, you can actually work less, right? And because of that, I run 2 full-time businesses. I have the coaching business. I'm still flipping houses, full-time dad, and I can still spend the evenings and the weekends with my family. You think that when somebody calls me on a Friday night saying, "Hey, I need a pre-approval," or a Saturday, you think I'm going to take that call, Gordon? I mean, that sounds like a Monday problem to me. Okay,
That's
so
funny.
yeah,
Do you remember when you called me this summer? I literally thought it was Saturday. It was actually a Friday.
yeah, I remember that.
Well, that's so amazing. Number one, thank you so much for your friendship. Thank you so much for your professionalism. I know your clients are lining up. Like you have a waiting list.
Oh yeah, I do.
Like, you have like a
Absolutely.
waiting list of
Yes.
people wanting to get in when they should have got in with you 6 months ago,
I
right?
know. Yeah,
So
and paid
thank
half the price, maybe
yeah.
less. Yeah. And
So
and I
thank you.
tell all my clients, you get grandfathered. So
Yes.
your price gets grandfathered. Thank you for, jumping on board and seeing the opportunity, because you do get grandfathered.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, folks, please, if come and meet Sai in person. You see the link in the bottom. Just click on the link, or can't click on it, but go to landingforsuccess.com/complimentary ticket, or reach out to Sai or myself. Okay, and we can send you the link. But I encourage you to come as a VIP, you guys. Right? tickets are $97. I wish it was $997, right? Because my mentor once said, if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. And Sai, you're finding the same. As you increase your prices for some reason, you get even more serious investors who are actually taking action, right?
Absolutely.
So come and meet Sai, or again, schedule be one of the 5 people that can actually schedule a call with Sai and learn how you can flip houses using other people's money. Any final thoughts before we go, Sai, from you?
No, I'm good. Just want to say, thank you, Gordon, to you, Jay, Land for Success community. I always have a blast with you guys, like all the time, man. You guys are just always, the real deal, super authentic all the time, man. I just love it. Like you look at the beginning of our call, all the tech issues and stuff. Guys, this is as real as it gets, man. You want to
Yeah.
hang out with people like Gordon and Jay. Just they're always real people, man.
Awesome. Well, Sai, thank you so much. And everyone that's watching, thank you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you want to connect with Sai, let me know. I'm happy to get you connected with them. Until next time, everyone, have an amazing, amazing day.
All right.